It is 2:45 in the morning, and you are lying in the dark listening to it again. That rhythmic jingle of a collar tag, the thump of a back leg against the hardwood, the wet, frantic sound of your dog chewing at the same patch of skin they have been chewing for 3 weeks now. You get up, you turn on the light, and there they are, looking up at you with those eyes, paw still in their mouth, and you feel that awful mix of worry and helplessness that every pet parent knows. So before we go one sentence further, I want you to let go of the guilt right now. You have not failed your dog. Itching is the single most common reason dogs are brought into veterinary clinics in America, and the pet parents I meet who are dealing with it are usually the most attentive owners in the building. You noticed. That already puts you ahead. Now, what if I told you that one spoonful of something that may already be sitting in your pantry, something that costs about $8 a jar at any Kroger, Target, or Walmart in the country, may calm that scratching dramatically over the course of a single weekend for many dogs? Not a prescription that runs $90 a month. Not a $1,200 allergy workup. A spoonful. And what if I told you that the reason it has not worked for you before, if you have already tried it, is almost certainly one of two very specific mistakes, one involving which jar you bought, and one involving what your dog does in the 10 minutes after you apply it. In the next 25 minutes, I am going to walk you through the exact weekend protocol I give the itchy dog families in my own practice, including the 2-minute skin check you must do first, because there is one type of itching that no pantry ingredient on earth will fix, and skipping that check is the mistake that keeps dogs scratching for months. There is also one detail about this remedy that almost every pet blog on the internet gets wrong, and I will show you exactly what it is, because it is the difference between a dog who settles down by Sunday night and a dog who licks the whole thing off before it can do a thing. Here is exactly what you are getting today, so you know it is worth your next 25 minutes. Promise number 1 is the exact spoonful, the specific type of oil, the exact dosing by body weight in pounds, starting at 1/4 teaspoon per 10 pounds, and the 2 kinds of jars on the store shelf that look identical but are not. Promise number 2 is the 2-minute Friday night skin check, using nothing but a flea comb and a wet paper towel, that tells you whether your dog's itch is the kind this protocol helps, or the kind that needs a different plan entirely. Promise number 3 is the full weekend schedule, Friday evening through Sunday night, laid out step by step, including the 10-minute distraction trick that solves the licking problem. Promise number 4 is the 3 things you may be doing right now with the best intentions in the world that are quietly making the itching worse. And one of them is something the internet actively tells you to do more of. And promise number 5 is the honest part. The 7 red flags that mean you close this video, skip the pantry entirely, and get your dog to a veterinarian. Because I will never trade your dog's safety for a tidy home remedy story. I am Dr. Casey Bell, and around here they call me the Pantry Vet. I am a practicing small animal veterinarian, and between April and October, my clinic sees somewhere around 40 itchy dogs a week, which means I have watched the same handful of patterns play out season after season. And the pattern we are talking about today is the one I see most. Let me tell you about Biscuit. Biscuit is a 4-year-old golden retriever who lives in Raleigh, North Carolina, with a pet parent named Megan, her husband, and their 2 kids. Biscuit sleeps at the foot of the bed, rides in the back of the Subaru to soccer practice, and by every measure is a healthy, happy 72-pound dog. Last spring, right as the pine pollen turned every car in Raleigh yellow, Biscuit started chewing his front paws at night. At first, it was a few minutes here and there. Within 2 weeks, it was hours. Megan told me she was setting an alarm for 2 in the morning just to interrupt him, because the sound of it was keeping the whole house awake. So Megan did what any loving pet parent does. She went online. The internet told her to bathe him, so she bathed him with an oatmeal shampoo 3 times a week. The internet told her about an over-the-counter antihistamine, so she tried that, and Biscuit got sleepy but kept right on chewing, which, by the way, tracks with the research, because studies in veterinary dermatology have found that antihistamines alone help only a minority of allergic dogs. By week 5, Biscuit's paws were stained rust brown from the licking, the fur between his toes was thinning, and the skin on his belly had gone from pale pink to an irritated, blotchy red. Megan took him to a clinic, and I want to be fair here, because the clinic did nothing wrong. They offered a referral to a veterinary dermatologist with intradermal allergy testing quoted at around $1,200, plus a daily prescription anti-itch medication running close to $90 a month, likely for every pollen season for the rest of Biscuit's life. For a family with 2 kids and a mortgage, that quote landed like a brick. And here is the part that matters most. When Megan finally sat in my exam room, near tears, the first thing she said was, "I feel like I made him worse." And she had, a little, through absolutely no fault of her own, because those 3 baths a week were stripping the exact protective layer Biscuit's skin was fighting to rebuild. The reason I am telling you about Biscuit is not because his case is unusual. It is because Biscuit is exactly typical. Seasonal, allergic, barrier-damaged itching in an otherwise healthy dog is what the majority of you watching are dealing with right now, and the weekend protocol I gave Megan, the same one I am about to give you, had Biscuit sleeping through the night by Sunday and had his belly calming from angry red toward pink within about a week. Every dog is different, and I cannot promise your dog's timeline, but I can show you exactly what we did. To understand why a spoonful of oil can do what a shelf of shampoos could not, you need to understand what itching actually is, and I promise to keep this simple enough to explain to a friend at the dog park. Your dog's skin is built like a brick wall. The skin cells are the bricks, and between them sits a layer of natural fats and oils that works like mortar, holding moisture in and holding pollen, bacteria, and yeast out. In a dog with allergies, that mortar is genetically a little thin to begin with. When pollen season hits, allergens slip through the gaps, the immune system overreacts, and the skin starts to itch. Then the real problem begins, because the scratching and chewing physically breaks the wall down further. More gaps, more allergens, more inflammation, more scratching. Veterinary dermatologists call this the itch-scratch cycle, and once it spins up, it feeds itself, which is why the itching almost never just goes away on its own. It gets worse because 2 opportunists move into the damaged wall. One is a bacteria called staph that lives on every dog's skin peacefully until the barrier breaks. The other is a yeast called malassezia, and if your itchy dog's paws or ears have ever had a smell like corn chips or old popcorn, that smell is this yeast, and it is a sign the cycle is well underway. Now, where does the spoonful come in? The ingredient is unrefined virgin coconut oil, and it earns its place in this protocol for 2 separate reasons. Reason 1. Roughly half of coconut oil is a fat called lauric acid, and laboratory studies, including work published in the Journal of Medicinal Food, have found that lauric acid can inhibit the growth of certain bacteria and yeast, including staph species, at least in a lab setting. Reason 2, and honestly the bigger one, coconut oil is what dermatologists call an occlusive moisturizer. Massaged into the skin in a thin layer, it acts like temporary mortar, slowing water loss through the damaged wall and physically covering the gaps that pollen has been slipping through. You are not curing the allergy. I want to be honest about that. The allergy is in your dog's immune system, and it is not going anywhere. What you are doing is repairing the wall and quieting the two hitchhikers, and for many dogs, that alone is enough to break the itch-scratch cycle down to a level everyone can live with. Now look back at Biscuit through this lens. 3 oatmeal baths a week were rinsing away his mortar faster than his skin could rebuild it. The antihistamine was aiming at the wrong part of the cycle. Nobody was repairing the wall. The mechanism was working exactly as biology designed it, and Biscuit was caught in the middle of it. Now, Biscuit is one kind of itchy dog, but he is not the only kind, so let me show you 3 more, because I want you to find your own dog somewhere in these stories. First, meet Gus. Gus is a 3-year-old French bulldog who lives in a downtown apartment in Austin, Texas, with a pet parent named Priya. Gus does not chew his paws. Gus scratches his armpits and drags his belly across the rug, and the skin inside his adorable wrinkles had turned greasy, pink, and yeasty smelling. Frenchies, along with a lot of the short-coated breeds Americans love, are famous for this pattern, because those skin folds trap warmth and moisture, which is exactly the neighborhood Malassezia yeast wants to live in. Priya had been using medicated wipes when she remembered, which was maybe twice a week, not nearly often enough to matter. For Gus, the protocol shifted topical. A thin layer of coconut oil worked gently into the armpits and belly folds twice a day, after patting the folds fully dry, plus cutting his baths back to once every 2 weeks. By Sunday night, Priya said the rug dragging had dropped to almost nothing, and the corn chip smell faded over the following week. Fold-prone breeds need this as maintenance, not a one-time fix, but the maintenance costs pennies a day. Second, meet Daisy. Daisy is an 11-year-old black lab in Tucson, Arizona, who lives with a retired pet parent named Frank, who is 71 and on a fixed income. Daisy's itch looked different again, a dry, flaky coat with white dander across her back, scratching worst in winter when the desert humidity drops and the furnace runs. Frank had been quoted around $1,400 for a full dermatology referral, and he simply did not have it. Now, here is where I have to be careful with you, because Daisy is a senior, and new itching in a senior dog can occasionally point to something internal, like a thyroid problem. So Daisy did not go straight to the pantry. Frank spent about $120 on a basic senior blood panel first. Her thyroid came back normal, and only then did we start her on the dietary spoonful, working up to about 2 teaspoons a day in her breakfast for her 65 pounds, plus a light topical layer on the flakiest patches once a day. Within 3 weeks, her dander had visibly thinned, and Frank said she had stopped scratching herself awake. Total ongoing cost, roughly $6 a month. Third, and this is the one I most need you to hear, meet Scout. Scout is a 5-year-old Jack Russell Terrier in Tampa, Florida, whose pet parent tried this exact coconut oil protocol after seeing it online, and it failed completely. 2 weeks in, Scout was chewing the base of his tail raw. When Scout finally came in, a flea comb through the fur above his tail turned up flea dirt in under 30 seconds. Scout had flea allergy dermatitis, which is the single most common allergic skin disease in dogs in the American South, and here is the brutal math of it. For a flea-allergic dog, one single bite can trigger weeks of itching. No spoonful, no oil, no pantry ingredient on this planet fixes flea allergy. Only real, consistent, vet-recommended flea control does. Scout's story is exactly why the very first step of this protocol is not the oil. It is the check. So grab a notebook, because here is the full weekend protocol, in order, exactly as I give it to families in my exam room. Step 1. Friday evening, the 2-minute skin check, and you may not skip this. Take a fine-toothed flea comb, they cost about $5 at PetSmart or Petco, and comb slowly through the fur at the base of your dog's tail, along the lower back and behind the ears. You are looking for live fleas, but more importantly, you are looking for flea dirt, tiny black flecks that look like ground pepper. Tap anything you find onto a wet white paper towel. If those flecks smear rust red, that is digested blood. That is flea dirt, and your weekend plan just changed. Your dog needs proper flea control, and I would call your vet about which product fits your dog, because for a flea-allergic dog like Scout, that is the whole ball game. While you are down there, run your hands over the belly, armpits, and paws, and look at the skin itself. If you find open, raw, weeping, or bleeding areas, or circular patches of missing fur, stop here too, because broken skin needs a veterinarian before it needs anything from your kitchen. If the skin is intact, just red, dry, or irritated, and the paper towel stays clean, you are cleared for Step 2. Step 2. Saturday morning, buy the right jar. And this is the mistake I flagged at the top of the video, the one almost every pet blog gets wrong. You want a jar labeled unrefined, virgin, cold-pressed coconut oil, and it should be solid and white at room temperature, because coconut oil melts at about 76 degrees Fahrenheit. What you do not want is the liquid bottle labeled fractionated coconut oil or MCT oil. Those bottles look related, and blogs use the names interchangeably, but fractionated coconut oil has had the lauric acid processed out of it, and the lauric acid is half the reason we are here. If it pours at room temperature, put it back on the shelf. A 16-ounce jar of the right stuff runs about $8 and lasts a small dog well over a month. Step 3. Saturday at breakfast, the spoonful itself. Mix it into your dog's regular food, starting low, because a sudden fat increase can upset a dog's stomach. The starting dose many integrative veterinarians use is about 1/4 teaspoon per 10 pounds of body weight once daily. So a 10-pound Chihuahua mix gets a 1/4 teaspoon, a 40-pound dog gets 1 full teaspoon, and a 70-pound Golden like biscuit gets just under 2 teaspoons. Hold that starting dose for the whole first week, watch the stool, and if everything stays normal, you can build gradually over 2 to 3 weeks toward the common target of about 1 teaspoon per 10 pounds daily. 2 hard caveats, and these are non-negotiable. Coconut oil runs about 40 calories per teaspoon, so if your dog is overweight, trim their kibble to match. And if your dog has ever had pancreatitis, or is a breed prone to it, like a miniature schnauzer, do not add any oil to the diet without talking to your veterinarian first, because added fat is exactly what a pancreatitis-prone dog does not need. Step 4. Saturday afternoon, the topical layer, and the 10-minute trick that makes or breaks it. Scoop about half a teaspoon, let it melt between your palms, and massage a thin, almost invisible layer into the itchy zones, the belly, the armpits, the groin, and between the paw pads. Thin is the word. Your dog should look slightly glossy, not greasy. Now here is the part the blogs skip. The moment you finish, your dog is going to try to lick every bit of it off, and licked off oil helps nothing but their appetite. The skin needs roughly 10 minutes of absorption time, so the second your hands leave the fur, you start a distraction. Clip on the leash and take a 15-minute walk, or hand over a frozen peanut butter Kong, or scatter kibble in a snuffle mat. For belly application, an old kid's t-shirt over the torso works beautifully as a barrier. Do this topical round twice on Saturday, morning and evening, and twice again on Sunday, and keep it going once or twice daily through the week. Most families tell me they notice calmer nights somewhere between Sunday and Wednesday. Step 5. Starting right now, Stop the 3 things making it worse. Thing 1. Overbathing. Unless your veterinarian has prescribed a medicated shampoo schedule, an itchy dog should be bathed no more than once every 1 to 2 weeks in lukewarm, not hot, water, because every hot soapy bath strips the mortar you are working so hard to rebuild. Thing 2. Never put human products on your dog. Human lotions, hydrocortisone creams meant for people, and especially tea tree oil, which in concentrated form is genuinely toxic to dogs and cats. If a product was made for your skin, keep it off theirs. Thing 3. Stop switching dog foods every 2 weeks hoping to luck into the answer. If food allergy is truly the driver, and it is the driver for only a minority of itchy dogs, diagnosing it takes a strict 8 to 12-week elimination diet run with your vet's guidance. Random bag swapping at the pet store just keeps the gut and skin destabilized while telling you nothing. Now for promise number 5, and I need your full attention here because this is the part that makes everything else in this video safe to use. There are 7 red flags that mean you set the coconut oil down and get your dog seen by a veterinarian. And for the first 2, I mean an emergency clinic tonight. Red flag 1. Sudden facial swelling, puffy eyes or muzzle, or hives appearing across the body within minutes to hours. That pattern can signal an acute allergic reaction that can escalate, and it is an emergency room trip, not a home remedy. Red flag 2. A hot spot, meaning a raw, wet, angry sore that is visibly growing hour by hour. Those can expand shockingly fast and often need prescription treatment the same day. Red flag 3. Violent head shaking, ear scratching, or a sour smell from the ears. Because ear infections hurt, they do not resolve with pantry ingredients, and putting oil into an ear canal can make things genuinely worse. Red flag 4. Itching that comes with lethargy, appetite loss, or a sudden increase in drinking, because that combination points at something systemic, not just skin. Red flag 5. Spreading patches of hair loss, crusting, or scaling, which can mean mange mites or ringworm, and ringworm can spread to the humans in your house. Red flag 6. Any broken, bleeding, or oozing skin, as we covered in the Friday check. And red flag 7. Itching that is still going strong after 2 to 3 weeks of doing this protocol correctly. At that point, your dog has earned a real diagnostic workup, and I will say this plainly, prescription options like Apoquel and Cytopoint are legitimate, well-studied medications that give severely allergic dogs their lives back. And if your dog turns out to be one of the severe ones, using them is not a failure. It is good parenting. The pantry is the first line. It was never meant to be the last. Before we close, one advanced move for those of you who want to go a level deeper, because there is a second kitchen-adjacent ingredient with even stronger research behind it for itchy dogs, and that is fish oil. Multiple veterinary dermatology studies have found that omega-3 fatty acids, specifically EPA and DHA, may reduce skin inflammation and improve coat quality in allergic dogs over about 8 to 12 weeks. The commonly cited guideline in the veterinary literature works out to roughly 20 milligrams of EPA per pound of body weight daily. But run your dog's exact number past your veterinarian, because it varies with the product and the patient. 2 caveats. If your dog is on any blood-thinning medication or has a surgery scheduled, fish oil needs your vet's sign-off first. And do not stack full doses of fish oil and coconut oil on top of each other in a pancreatitis-prone or overweight dog. If you add fish oil, cut the dietary coconut oil in half and keep the coconut oil working topically where its calories do not count. Coconut oil repairs the wall from the outside over a weekend. Fish oil cools the fire from the inside over a season. Together, for many dogs, they are the whole strategy. So if you take nothing else from the last 25 minutes, take this. Friday night, run the 2-minute flea comb and paper towel check, because Scout's story is waiting for anyone who skips it. Saturday morning, the right jar, unrefined virgin coconut oil, solid at room temperature, starting at 1/4 teaspoon per 10 pounds in the food bowl. Saturday and Sunday, the thin topical layer with the 10-minute distraction, twice a day. Stop the overbathing, keep human products off dog skin, and hold one food steady. And keep those 7 red flags posted on your refrigerator, because your willingness to go to the vet when it matters is exactly what earns you the right to handle the small stuff at home. Everything in this video is education from one dog lover to another, not a diagnosis of your specific dog. So when in doubt, your own veterinarian, who can actually put hands on your pet, always gets the final word. Megan texted me a video the Monday after Biscuit's weekend, and it was 30 seconds of a 72-pound golden retriever flat on his back, snoring, all 4 paws in the air, not a jingle to be heard. That is what I want for your house too. If your dog scratched last night, or you know a pet parent whose dog did, this weekend is your window. And next week on this channel, I am walking you through the 5-minute Sunday evening exam that catches problems weeks before they turn into vet bills. If this helped you tonight, hit the like button and subscribe, because every subscriber helps this video reach one more sleepless pet parent who needs it. From my kitchen to yours, take good care of each other, and I will see you in the next one.